Let's begin. Today is August 24th, 2024, and we're solving the Daily Turing Machine Puzzle. Today's puzzle uses the following 5 criteria cards. Criteria card 1, 15, 16, 18, and 21. And the puzzle uses the orange verification cards. The code above is your way to get more information on today's puzzle by searching the code on turingmachine.info. Let's go solve. So in the grid above, we've got our 5 criteria cards. On the top row, we've got criteria card A, criteria card B, and criteria card C. On the bottom row, we've got criteria card D and criteria card E. So criteria card A looks at our first digit, the triangle digit, and compares its value to the number 1. So should triangle equal 1, or should triangle be greater than 1? Criteria card B looks at the 3 digits, triangle, square, and circle, and the Turing Machine will let us know which one is the absolute largest. So should triangle be the largest, should square be the largest, or should circle be the largest? Criteria card C will look at the 3 digits in our solution and will let us know the ratio of even to odds. So should there be more even than odds, or should there be less even than odds? Criteria card D again looks at our 3 digits, triangle, square, and circle, but this time it'll add them all together and will let us know whether the sum total is an even quantity or an odd quantity. And finally, criteria card E again looks at our 3-digit solution, but this time will let us know a little bit about its structure, so to speak. Specifically, one scenario is that there's a pair, as in the example 131, or alternatively, there is no pair, but there are 2 possibilities. Either all the digits are the same, as in the example 134, or, I apologize, I may have said the same, all the digits are different, as in the example 134, or all the digits are the same, as in the example 222. And remember, the objective of today's puzzle is to find that unique 3-digit code that abides by the 5 criteria cards we just discussed. And we're going to start off with an initial proposal of 314. So the first thing I want to find out is I want to know a little bit about the ratio of even to odds. So let's go ahead and test criteria card C. Okay, so the Turing Machine approves of my proposal. Notice that I do have 2 odds to a single even, so that means that there are less even than odds. So let's go ahead and type that up in section C. Okay, so at the moment we don't know how many odds there are. At a minimum there must be 2, right, so that it has a majority, but it could be all 3 be odd. And I think criteria card D will clue us in. So let's go ahead and test criteria card D. Okay, so in this case, the Turing Machine does not approve of my proposal. Remember, we are adding all the digits up, so let's go ahead and do that. So 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8. So that is an even quantity, but the Turing Machine does not approve of that. So it's basically letting us know that the sum total should actually be an odd quantity. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes for section D, and that is that triangle plus square plus circle should be odd. And since the sum total should be odd, I believe that means that they all have to be odd, and that's because, again, we know we have a majority at a minimum 2 odds. So if you add 2 odds together, that's even. But if you want the overall sum to be odd, that means you have to add a 3rd odd, so that an even plus an odd gives you that sum total of odd. So that means that I'll just put a note that all 3 digits are odd. Okay, so at this point, since we know that they're all odd, let me go ahead and cross out all the evens for triangle, square, and circle. And then now notice that we do have criteria card E that potentially there could be a pair or not. So let's go ahead and test that. That is criteria card E. Okay, so it agrees with the proposal. Notice that I do have 3, 1, 4. They are all distinct. So that means that it's letting me know that the solution has no pairs. So let's go ahead and type that up in section E. And we'll say that the solution no pairs. Now, is it the first case or the second case? Well, since we do have this criteria card B that informs us that there must be an absolute largest, that means that it can't be a triple digit, or basically the example 222, since we do need a bigger value. Obviously, in this case, they're all the same. So that means that, in fact, they are all distinct. So that means that we have 1, 3, 5 in the solution. So I'll just add a note, 1, 3, and 5 in some order, right? I don't know what order that may be, but they're all uniquely odd, no repetitions. Okay, well, that does it for this round. We have completed our 3 Turing tests. Now we're going into the phase where we'll be discussing how to construct a good second round proposal. So basically, the solution comes down to criteria card A and B, right? Because we already tested the last 3, and we'll obviously modify our solution, making sure that we have and only use 1, 3, and 5 in our solution. So let's talk about it. So let's take the easy case where triangle potentially could be 1, right? That's very plausible. And then obviously square or circle is the largest 5, which would then default the second one, or the last one, to be the 3. That's the most likely scenario. What about the case where triangle is larger than 1? Well, that means it's either 3 or 5, which could still work, right? Because you could have 3 or 5. We can still figure out which one's the largest in square or circle, and then of course then triangle would be the 3, and then the third one would be a 1. Almost sort of not quite the reverse of the first case, but I think what's great is that either square or circle has to be the largest. I think that's really key, and so that we can accomplish everything in a single second round. We don't have to go to a third round, because remember, I can only test 2 things. C, D, E are already established, so there's no point in testing those. So let's go ahead and say, let's see, so we could either have 1, 5, 3 or 1, 3, 5, or again, triangle I think we sort of established to be a 3, so I think we can almost say that triangle can't be 5. But if it's 3, it could be 3, 5, 1 or 3, 1, 5. Very interesting. Let's go ahead, just because maybe it being 1 is too simple, let me choose triangle 3 and say 3, 1, 5. So let's go ahead and try that out. Okay, so I think the first thing I will test is I want to see which one's the biggest. I'm not saying I can deduce what triangle should be, but let me go ahead and test B. Okay, so yeah, I got very lucky and circle is the largest. So let's go ahead and type that up, and that was section B, and we'll just say that circle is the largest. And because we know we're just using 1, 3, and 5, we know that it's got to be 5. So let me go ahead and adjust all of this. And again, we're saying that circle must be 5. Okay, so that leaves it down to triangle being 1 or 3, and then square being the other one. And there's really no way to deduce it. I think both possibilities are valid. So let's go ahead and just test A. Oops. A. Okay, so no, triangle is not greater than 1. So basically it means that, yeah, triangle is actually equal to 1. So let's go ahead and type that up and say that triangle is equal to 1. And so, of course, that means it's not 5 and it's not 3 either. Can't be anything larger than 1. So that means that triangle is 1, and then square has to be 3. And that should be, oops, didn't want to do that. So yeah, square is going to be 3. Okay, so that means that our solution is 135. Well, I say it's the solution. We'll have to confirm it and verify. I apologize, the computer's lagging a little bit, but basically I believe the solution should be 135. And everything else, everything is kind of checks out. So as soon as it's typed up, let me go to turingmachine.info and verify. All right. So 135. Yes, fantastic. Okay, so how do we do versus a Turing machine? Well, let's go see what we tested. So the good thing is we did test all 5 criteria cards only once, and that's always a good indication. So we did C, D, E in the first round, and we got the middle one wrong, and then A being the second round, A being incorrect. So let's go ahead and type that up. So C, D, E in the first round, and again, A was incorrect and B was correct. Okay, so we beat the Turing machine by 1 question. So it was a good puzzle. I did enjoy, again, the sequence of basically C, D, and E really helped us. We were able to eliminate all the evens with that, and also know that they were all unique. And so, like I mentioned, it was then just criteria card A and B that sort of subtly asking those questions, we were able to come up with a solution Obviously, what also helped was to basically identify or be able to determine that triangle could not be a 5. So it was either a 1 or a 3, and basically letting us know that finding the largest was 50-50. It was either square or circle. And again, we were able to update our answers and find the solution. So what do you think? Add your ideas to the comment section, and do give it a thumbs up so that more people can find this channel. And of course, hit subscribe to not miss any future videos. Well, until next time, have a great one.